Carl here from Brrraaains A Head-Banging Life with a reaction video to another new band I know nothing about. Back on Earth. Described themselves as an emo revival kind of band, alternative rock, that sort of thing. You don't often hear the word emo thrown around in 2020. But I guess with My Chemical Romance, well, we're coming back this year, but obviously, you know, the world changed. That kind of halted things. They're like with nu metal, you know, over the last couple of years, nostalgia's rearing its head, and I guess this means emo is back in vogue, so to speak. I don't really like the term, to be honest. I don't really like the way of describing that specific style of music. You know, I know alternative is just a bit wide and too vague to kind of describe, but emo ended up becoming a sort of dirty word, so to speak, an insult. Oh, you're an emo, so you know, that kind of thing, aimed at young teenagers who dressed in a certain way and shit like that. That's never a good thing, to sort of put a nasty tag onto it, but that's what it became. So I'd like to see, if we are going to be using the term emo, I'd like to be able to say it without that kind of feeling you get that comes from that, you know, that era of it. But yeah, Back on Earth, that's sort of how to describe this song, Heroes, 5th single since they come back in 2019. I'll admit I know nothing about this band, so I am at least excited to hear it, as you know, I've got an open mind. It's not my preferred style of music. I don't really have one, so to speak. I like a shit ton of metal genres and rock genres, you know, from everything. And, you know, in my time, probably more when I was younger, I enjoyed this style of music more, but it never really was kind of like, I was never listening to albums, you know, people were going crazy for the likes of, you know, same again, My Chemical Romance. I liked a couple of songs here and there, but it was certainly nothing that was kind of like, oh, that's like the best thing ever, you know. I was always more into pop punk. That was more my sort of softer side of the music, so to speak. So I'm excited to check this out because hopefully it's at least a nice song. So let's hit play. Retro cartoons. Okay. I get why they describe it this way now. Sweet. I feel like the video's stuck. Obviously it's not. It is a very, very sort of revival of a sound from the early noughties. Even lyrically, you know. I like that line. It's quite cool. Quite nice. The way he sort of drags the heroes part out, it's quite infectious. I find myself singing it in my head. I like that bit. I like it. I like it. I'm being taken back to when I was in my late teens. So what I said at the start, how the band describes the song themselves and the emo revival, emo alternative, totally makes sense once you hear the particular track. It does sound of an era. It really does. Dare I say, even dated, in the sense that if you would come to me and said this song was released in 2005 or 6, I'd have been like, yeah, okay, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that totally makes sense. Not 2020. But then I don't think that it's not being sold like as this is game changing. Oh, you know, it's going to be a brand new take on that style of music. It's a throwback, and it very much is that. But it is a nice song. It's quite catchy, quite infectious. Particularly when I've been Heroes part. Didn't love the video, if I'm honest. Didn't really get it. The animated character was cool, but for the entire length of it, it just ran on the spot effectively. Like, there wasn't even the background wasn't moving. Like, to give it in implying like it was moving through a street, as if it seemed to be, because it was holding a flower, as if it was going to meet someone. And then at the end, obviously, it flew off and dropped the flower. Didn't really get it. It just felt a bit like, oh, okay, it's more of a lyric video than an actual video, I think. You know, the animation was nice. It's got an old school, you know, steampunk. Was it Steampunk Willie? Whatever, that one, you know, the old Mickey Mouse cartoon, that look, you know, the old school cartoon drawing, which is cool. So whoever did that drawing artistry did well. But yeah, the whole video as a whole just didn't make much sense, you know, particularly when it's called Heroes. I was expecting a bit more to that, but there you go. Song-wise, like I said, I liked it. It's catchy, it's memorable. I probably can find myself humming that for a while after, I think, which is no bad thing. Thank you very much for watching. You can check us out on gbhbl.com as well as on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and Tumblr. Go to Patreon and help us out over there. That's patreon.com/GBHBL, as well as Big Cartel, where you can find some of our merchandise. We have a podcast running on SoundCloud and Apple Podcasts. And of course, if you like this video, do us a favour, hit the subscribe button and help the channel grow. Games, horror and heavy metal. What else is life for?